found out about Ambucs through physical therapy at her school. Her physical therapist had been putting her on a bicycle and just going up and down the halls, and she'd really been doing a great job on it. And we had tried some toy bicycles here, and just nothing really clicked for her, nothing really worked. And so after seeing the videos of her doing so well, we asked, hey, is there any way that we could potentially carry her success at school or the house? And she told us about Ambucs and how they provided the bike there. And she got us connected with Greg, and he was able to get Emily a bike for us to use here at the house. It's go! We've lived in this neighborhood for 10 years. We've seen people for 10 years, never spoken to them. Not that we're unfriendly, but they see it, and that gives them a reason to say, oh, that's awesome, look, you got a bike. So it's really cool, and it's and like my wife was saying, it's nice when you can tap into that sort of typical line of, you get to do the same things that typical kids can do, and I think other people recognize that, and she has a ball.
She really likes the freedom of being on her bike. Like, she's kind of in control of what she's doing.
There were times where she would take us out to the garage and put our hand on the bike and look at us and say,
Let's go.
yeah, you did, didn't you? I mean, that's the goal of any parent, right? Is to make your kids as independent as possible. You know, when you have kids who are admittedly requiring a lot more attention and probably will for the rest of their lives, it's great to give them an opportunity to do something on their own. And that's what the bike has been for her.
Absolutely.
Anything adaptive, anything disability, anything special needs is very expensive. And the gift of being given a bike, we don't get breaks anywhere. And so when you find, I mean, we just always expect to be paying an arm and a leg for anything. I mean, his strollers, his diapers, his special pajamas. And so when we found out, you know, that they have, you know, this program and people donate, and you can, you know, if you are selected, John Wesley gets a bike. I mean, I can't even tell you what that was like. To have something, again, that serves him, because so many things don't. Something that this is for him. This bike will fit him. It will be given to him. This is a gift for your family. It was huge. And he loves it. There is so little that he is able to do outside, but he loves being outside. And in the moment, to just see him not fixate on something sensory related, he does something we call sprinkling. I don't know what else to call it, but he just picks up dirt and drops it, or rocks or mulch, and he'll just do that forever. It's pretty much the only thing he can do outside independently. He likes to swing, but he can't do it independently. And so when he gets on the bike, just that freedom, number one, he loves it. He just laughs, smiles, thinks it's hilarious. But two, again, just to see him get to enjoy something, because I often notice him noticing other kids doing things, and I don't know what he thinks, you know, and I can't begin to, you know, I never want to speak for him in that way, but you wonder what he's thinking. You know, you notice him noticing other kids doing things, and he is smart. And just because he can't verbalize doesn't mean there's not intelligence there. We just don't have a way to measure his intelligence. We have one way with most things. We have one way we think about things, one way we do things. Well, he doesn't fit in any of those boxes. So we can't measure his intelligence, but it's very clearly there. And so when he notices other kids doing things, you just wonder, does he feel like he's missing out? Does he wish he had the ability to do those things? When he gets to ride his bike, there's just that freedom and that pride of independence. So I can do this too. I can do what my sisters do. I can do what I see the kids at school doing when they show up to school on their bikes. I know that he craves dignity just like we all do. He just doesn't have a lot of opportunities to be awarded that in these small ways, like the bike. I know it sounds silly, but it is an opportunity for him to have dignity, for him to look like other kids. And so John Wesley, now fast forward, he is 10. He is totally nonverbal. He has not one word to his vocabulary. He does not sign. He is not potty trained. He can't dress himself. He struggles to feed himself unless it's with his hands. He can't drink from an open cup. All of the things that typical 10-year-olds are able to do, he is not. He is incredibly smart. His ability to problem solve, if he is motivated enough with skills that you and I take for granted, is incredible. It truly is. To watch him when his gross motor skills and his fine motor skills are so delayed and that communication barrier is there for him to find a way to do something, it'll absolutely blow your mind. It just really makes you appreciate the small things and celebrate the small things. And even with my girls now, because we have 2 girls, just watching them do little things and thinking, man, John Wesley will probably never be able to tie his shoes. It's amazing that they can tie their shoes. What a gift to be able to manipulate your fingers in such a way that you can tie your shoe. John Wesley is not able to engage in so many typical activities. There's not a lot of things that he enjoys, but there's also not a lot of things that he is able to do. They are very few and far between. One of the things that he both enjoys and is able to do is riding his adaptive bike. And again, it is amazing to watch him do that because, most kids with Pitt-Hopkins syndrome never walk. And there was a time where I would watch him in the house and just think, man, will he ever be able to just crawl into his bed on his own or get up on the couch? And so to see him sit on a bicycle and pedal it is amazing. Wes and I constantly feel pulled between him and the girls because what he enjoys doing and what he is able to do is so limited, and what the girls enjoy doing and what they are able to do is not enjoyable for him. And so we find ourselves constantly, even in big decisions, well, obviously in big decisions, but even in very small decisions, deciding, okay, which one is going to have to sacrifice. And there's very little that they, if anything, that they are able to enjoy together. And when we get out there and we load up the bikes, and John Wesley's on his bike and the girls are on their bikes, it takes my breath away almost just to watch him get to do something with his sisters that they both enjoy together. It's such a rare thing, and just like a typical kid, just for a moment in time, he gets to enjoy his siblings and they get to enjoy him in the way that most families already have.
I started working with Joseph when he was 6 months old. So you do the count. He's in a wheelchair, but I decided to get him out. And I know Lizzie and John probably thought I was crazy. I just felt like if he didn't move his legs, he would never walk. And when he got this bike, every day at Brookwood Mall is closed now. We made a point to go 4 days out a week. Even when the stores was closing down, 1, 2 stores, he was still riding. Everybody at the zoo know it. There was a guy came up to us last month and said, I can't believe this little boy riding his bike now. He was the only one they let in the zoo. And this was 2 years ago on his bike. Now he can ride. Let's go.
Go.
My name is Sally Sherrill, and I'm Lizzie's mother and Joseph's grandmother. But this is really Joseph's only activity to do with his legs that really does motor skills, because he can ride the bike. He can't really walk. He can walk with a walker, but he's kind of wobbly. For some reason, riding the bike, I've seen so much improvement in him, because before, Tony and I would have to hold one side each and get him to go. Now he rides by himself, and he is so happy. And we play hide and seek. We'll find a blue car, and we'll say, go touch the blue car. We'll find a red car. And we just kind of play games. And at the zoo, Tony may hide behind a wall. And then we find Tony. Then I'll go hide. And he starts laughing. And then we do this thing where we have coins in our pockets. And here we go to the fountains and throw the pennies in the fountains. At the zoo, we drop pennies in the drain pipe and watch them go down. And it's kind of his entertainment in the afternoons, because he really doesn't have anything else to do. He can't play soccer, he can't play basketball, he can't really do team sports. But this is very entertaining for him. But what I've noticed about Joseph, he's very into his schedule. Like, he knows what hill we're going up, what wall we're going to touch, what fountain we're going to. And there are 2 sticks over there. We call them our the little bump and the big bump. And when we get ready to go over the big bump, he bursts out laughing because it's kind of wobbly, and he wobbles, and he loves to ride.
You're gonna be a Hollywood star.
Give me a